Hare Krishna. Don't relax the treatment just because the symptoms have disappeared. Sometimes when patients get a disease, at that time, and especially when the disease causes a lot of symptoms, and the patients rush to the doctor and they take treatment. So for example, if a person has TB and has severe coughing, and person rushes to the doctor and takes treatment very diligently. And now if the disease has been very severe, then often the treatment is also quite prolonged. So for example, in TB, after maybe a few days or a few weeks of treatment, the symptoms subside and the patient starts feeling better. And now doctors often warn that don't stop taking the treatment just because the symptoms have disappeared now. Symptoms have subsided because the germs are still there inside. And unfortunately, many times patients neglect taking this treatment after the symptoms disappear. And the result of that is they get a relapse. And the germs which were meant to be killed or driven away by the sustained dose of treatment, the germs continue to live, and living, they come back and they counter. That means they develop the techniques by which to resist the standard TB medicines. And then patients get what RTB, resistant TB. Or they call it MTDR, multi-treatment drug resistant TB, and that is extremely dangerous and much more difficult to treat. So the point is that the patient needs to continue the treatment even when the symptoms disappear, and the innate internal cause that is there, the cause itself has to be removed thoroughly. So similarly, in our life, we are all suffering from the disease of material existence, Bhavaroga. Now, while suffering from this disease, we all need to come out of this disease by the steady practice of bhakti. So, our desires like lust, anger, greed, when they start dragging us in immoral directions, or when the karmic reactions to our past misdeeds start troubling us too much, that time we feel, oh, I need relief. And then we start practicing bhakti intensely, praying to Krishna for shelter, and we do get relief. But as soon as we start getting some relief, we start feeling, oh, now things are okay. Now I don't need to practice bhakti so intensely. But we have to know that the desires which impelled us to do wrong, because of which we are got karmic reactions, those desires have not gone away. The symptoms have subsided, but they have not been, but their cause has not been eliminated. So if we relax, then then at the time when we will not expect, the desires will pop back again. They'll spring up and they will ambush us because we will not be prepared at that time. And the problem that comes is that if we start practicing bhakti mechanically, then in that sense, that mechanical practice of bhakti is not so much of a threat to our sensual desires, because we may be uttering the holy name with our mouth, but inside we are thinking about sense gratification, and that way we are being slowly but surely pulled towards sense gratification. Now that kind of practice, superficial practice, does not comprise a threat for our material desires. In fact, rather, that is like the material desires have developed a resistance, and they will allow us, okay, you continue your superficial chanting if you want, but I will hold sway on your consciousness. So now, of course, the holy name of Krishna is so powerful that it can drive out all desires completely. But the important thing is that we need to let Krishna enter our consciousness. And it's not that you want to use Krishna as a tool merely to cause the undesirable side of us, the lust, anger, greed, to come under control. We want to connect with Krishna to become spiritual in our orientation, to rise to the spiritual level of consciousness, and to find lasting happiness therein. So Krishna talks about, in the Bhagavad Gita, while talking about how to combat lust, first he says in 3.41 that we need to control it at a physical level. Tasmat tvam indriyanyadav Niyamya Bharatarshabha Papamanam Prajahiya Enam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. Therefore, control. Control your senses, Krishna says first. And then after that, he says, Evam buddhe param buddhva samsthabhyatmanam jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. So in 3.43 he says, in this way situate yourself on the spiritual platform and thus conquer this great enemy called lust. That means Krishna is telling that don't just stop by, so our physical actions, our physical indulgences are more like the symptoms. And the desires that are present, the underlying material consciousness that is there within us, that is the cause. So Krishna is saying, don't stop with just curbing the senses externally. Go further and elevate your consciousness spiritually. And when we do that, then we'll be able to, just like a person who is freed completely from disease, we will be able to conquer our selfish desires and stay permanently, joyfully connect with Krishna in this life as well as the next. Thank you. Hare Krishna.